Oh yeah, let's see what this bad boy can do. Woo-hoo! Now this is what I'm talking about.
So I learned animation just by watching a whole bunch of tutorials on YouTube. My advice would definitely be to learn and to watch YouTube tutorials, a lot of them, and just keep constantly creating and making what you love to make.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Mad Artist Publishing CGI and Films. Today we're going to be talking to director and animator of the latest film that we've showcased on our channel, Beethoven versus the Bird. Now, this is an all-animated comedic / family short, and it was done by Chase Olivera, who is only 16 years old. Now, he has not been to an animation school, so we're going to be talking to him to see what inspired him to get into this field and what his process is. Chase, welcome. Thanks so much for being here, and tell us how you got involved in animation.
Well, I've always been interested in movies and filmmaking since I was 10 years old, and I was been making short films with my friends and such. And in 2019, I got Blender to make visual effects and special effects for like action explosions and robot spiders and stuff for my short films. And I got into the animation part as practice. And then in 2020, when COVID happened, I knew that I needed to continue working on movies, and I could do it myself with animation. And I just fell in love with it. So, yeah.
So there's a lot of animation software out there. Some is free, some is paid. Can you tell me what you started out on versus what you are using now and what you think you're going to still need to learn?
So I first started animating on Blender, and I'm still animating on Blender because it can really do all parts of animating. I use Final Cut Pro to edit the videos, but Blender is what I animate in, and that's the 3D program. But there is a lot more animation software out there, and I did just recently get Unreal Engine because the render engine is a lot better than Blender's because it renders faster and more realistic. It's probably equivalent to Cycles in Blender, but the Cycles told me that Beethoven vs. the Bird would take me a month to render, so I had to render it out in Eevee. But yeah.
Right. Being so young and inexperienced, what has been your process in creating the Beethoven versus the Bird?
So my process for creating Beethoven vs. the Bird was, first I realized that I needed to make it easy enough for me to make, since it was my first project that I was doing from scratch. And I realized that music, if I had music be the focal point of the story, it could basically write and then do the pacing and everything for me. And what better, more cartoony, emotional music than Beethoven's Fifth Symphony? And that is an actual true story, because Beethoven's Fifth Symphony was actually inspired by this song, a bird song. I think it was a song sparrow. And so these events could have really happened in real life, maybe.
And what were some of the challenges animating or rendering the film?
So Beethoven vs. the Bird was actually a lot easier, I think, than a lot of my previous projects, because I knew that my skill set and I knew what I was doing, and I prepared a lot beforehand. The main challenge was optimizing everything so it would still look good, but also not be so high resolution that it would break down my computer. So if you notice, like, he doesn't have all the hair on the back of his head, and the main problem was getting the grass, because that's was a lot of hair particles, and that slowed down my computer a lot. But I was able to keep it good, so it would keep going.
All right, so tell me, what part of CGI and animation do you enjoy most? Is it modeling, animating, maybe blend shapes, or maybe creating visual effects like particles? What is it that you're drawn most towards?
I love all the parts of the process to making an animation. I really like modeling. I think that's probably the easiest for me, just modeling buildings and geometric shapes, I guess. The hardest part for me right now, though, is animating, is getting those animations right, and human animations. But I love it all.
Okay. What websites do you use for finding resources, inspiration, or maybe just to teach yourself?
So I learned animation just by watching a whole bunch of tutorials on YouTube. There's a lot of really amazing creators and teachers on there. And a lot of inspiration comes from all the college student short films on YouTube that I find, and Mad Artist Publishing has a very nice collection of great short films and animations that give me a lot of inspiration.
So tell me about your parents. What are they saying about your newfound hobby?
My parents have been very supportive and have really helped me get to where I am, and I'd like to thank them. And yeah, they've been really great.
Do you have other films in the pipeline that we can expect?
I actually just started work on a new animation that is a lot more ambitious than Beethoven vs. the Bird, but still has that cartoony vibe to it. And it's also going to be a lot more heartwarming, hopefully. And I definitely want to focus more on the look of it, and I want to make every shot look as like much of an artwork as possible. And I think it's going to come together pretty good. I've already done some concept artwork for it, but I haven't really started animating it yet.
Okay. Is your plan to go to school, like an animation school, or are you going to apply straight for a job with your portfolio, assuming that you're going to create additional pieces of work, say over the next 2 years? And if you are going to go to school, which one is it going to be?
Not entirely sure yet. I'm taking a lot of college courses right now so I can finish high school early, hopefully. So I could have a year to get my act together and build my portfolio and apply for internships at production companies. I know that DreamWorks has a really good internship program, and I'm going to apply it everywhere. Or I could dual enrollment college classes, and then I could get into an animation school too. But I'm still not sure what I'm going to do on that.
All right. So assuming you graduate, where would you ideally like to work in the future?
The ideal job would definitely be being an animator for a studio or doing any part of the animation process. I'd also like to be doing stuff like visual effects or for live action movies too. Really anything in Hollywood or the film business. But right now, mainly computer animations and graphics and stuff.
And what is your advice for other young animators out there, or people who may be considering getting into this field?
My advice would definitely be to learn and to watch YouTube tutorials, a lot of them, and just keep constantly creating and making what you love to make.
Awesome. Well said. Tell us, where can we find you online, and how can anybody get in touch with you, maybe if they want to give you a job?
Yeah, you can find me online through my YouTube channel, Blue Phoenix Filmworks, and I also have an Instagram account of the same name. And you can contact me through chaseolivera@hotmail.com. That's my email.
All right, so that's that, everybody. Thanks so much to Chase Olivera for joining me today. If you have a short film or you are interested in learning about animation, make sure you click subscribe, click that bell to get notified of our latest videos. We have taken a little bit of a hiatus during the pandemic, so the offices were closed, but we are now back and we're going to be releasing more content. So again, thanks so much, Chase, for joining us.
Thank you so much for interviewing me and featuring my Beethoven vs. the Bird on your YouTube channel and getting me out there. It means a lot.
We will see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.